Now, I tried to make another video earlier today about ranking the fan bases in the UFC. Spoiler alert, that didn't go so well. And at the 30-minute mark, I realized I'm not cut out for yapping for 40 plus minutes about random fan bases in the UFC. That's just not me. But instead, I have another video for you guys because earlier today, Arman Tsarukyan headbutted Dan Hooker at the ceremonial weigh-ins and face-off. Now, you guys might not think that's that bad, considering that these guys are gonna fight each other in 24 hours. But considering that Dan Hooker can get cut up due to Arman Tsarukyan headbutting him, all right. What if he actually did get cut up and then the fight had to be called off? Then what? All right. To me, it just feels like Arman Tsarukyan is too dumb to be a champion. And listen to his response following the headbutt, all right? This is all you have to know regarding Arman Tsarukyan.
Explain to me what just happened during face-off. Did Dan instigate that headbutt, or was that you?
No, he tried to scare me, but no one can scare me. He wanted like scare me, and like I automatically like wanna like kick his ass. No one.
This is this is retard logic here, all right? Now, first off, Arman Tsarukyan, please speak up in the mic. All right, it's there for a reason. You can kind of speak into the mic so we can actually hear you. But basically, he's saying he tried to scare me, so I headbutted him first and wanted to kick his ass. Motherfucker, you're in a face-off. Of course you're trying to scare each other. All right? Now, the difference is we're not retards like you, or at least Dan Hooker's not a retard like you, and try to hurt the opponent prior to the fight occurring. Right? And if the fight were to be called off because Dan Hooker got badly hurt following the headbutt, do you think the UFC would keep you? I mean, you already pulled out of one title fight. You refused to fight Matej Gamrot. Now they have you in with Dan Hooker. And if Dan Hooker had to pull out of the fight because of a possible injury, at what point would the UFC say, oh, yeah, we should still keep him? Like, I know he causes trouble for us over the last year or so, but, he's got some skills. It's not like he's like doing retarded shit like this on the regular. I'm just saying. At the end of the day, Arman Tsarukyan, right, this is just me. I think he's too dumb to be a champion because there seems to be controversies like this all the time. I keep in mind a couple of years ago, when he put his entire team and tried to press up on Bobby Green because Bobby Green called his fight style boring. That like this guy is just too dumb to be a UFC champion, in my opinion. Right. Next thing you'll know, I'll get jumped by Armenian goons. All right. If I get jumped by Armenian goons and get held up for ransom, just know who kidnapped me. But that's besides the point, though. What I want to talk about is not only just Arman Tsarukyan, though. It's his supposed fans. Right. Some of these guys seem to like try to go leaps and bounds in order to justify this, all right? For example, UFC Neanderthal over here. They loved when Conor do this stuff, but somehow upset with Arman. First off, Conor McGregor never headbutted anybody, even when he acted so brashly. Like, he did take Jose Aldo's belt, right? He did all kinds of crazy stuff. He ate a photo of Jose Aldo in front of him, right? He mean mugged everybody, right? He talked about, I'm in your wife's DMs, right? Conor McGregor basically did everything. What he didn't do was actions against his opponent that would directly jeopardize the fight, right? Like, fortunately for us, the fight didn't become compromised. But the fact that Arman Tsarukyan's too dumb to know that if he does this, it could get compromised, and considering he's not on good terms with the UFC, he shouldn't take those chances. I don't know what says to him. Personally, I think he's just too dumb to be the UFC champion. I know he's a great fighter. He knocked out Beneil Dariush in the first round. He beat Joel Alvarez. All right, he arguably beat Matej Gamrot. He beat Damir Magulov. I know Arman Tsarukyan is a great fighter, but man, it's just stuff like this that really hard. Like it just so hard for me to be convinced that Arman Tsarukyan is going to be a champion. It's so hard for me to be convinced that I should give Arman Tsarukyan a chance. Right? You keep in mind when people were talking about his weight cuts and stuff like that. This guy, in response, he's uploading a bunch of fucking mukbangs, if you will. Right? I don't know why Arman Tsarukyan fans, unless you're like one of those guys that love a niche fighter, or like you're Armenian, fair enough. But outside of that, I don't know why you would like Arman Tsarukyan, right? He's too brash. He's too dumb. He doesn't have a fun personality. He barely shows up to fights. And quite frankly, he's pretty delusional, right? This is like this right here. He tried to scare me, so no one can scare me. That is retard mentality at its finest, right? These are the type of activities that you would find a YN down the streets of New York be doing, right? That's what this kind of tells me, right? This is the energy that Armin Sarukian gives off, and I don't know why we need to put up with this. Right? I really don't, right? So hopefully Dan Hooker beats Armin Sarukian. I still think Armin's gonna win because don't get me wrong, he is a really good fighter. Like he survived Charles Oliveira's guard. I know Topuria cut through Charles Oliveira's guard like butter in the first round. But Sarukian, yeah, he's not Topuria. He's not Topuria. He's good. He's good though. So I think Sarukian's gonna beat Dan Hooker regardless. But if he loses to Dan Hooker, what's to say he doesn't get cut from the roster? Right? Because he's just doing too much dumb shit like this that can cost the UFC over and over again. And quite frankly, I don't think the UFC should be dealing with someone as dumb as this if he's also squandering opportunities for himself in the process. That's gonna be it for this video. Leave a comment down below what you guys think about Arman Sarukian headbutting Dan Hooker. Alright? Because again, to me, in short, I think that just shows how dumb he is as a person, right? Great fighter, right? Sick fighting style. I get it, but he's not up all there. But yeah, anyways though, leave a comment down below. Like and subscribe if you guys want to see more videos like this. Otherwise though, I'll see you guys tomorrow during UFC Qatar. Peace.